Wife Material Podcast. How to get a millionaire. Right? Pretty much it's the idea that do you really deserve one? Most ladies don't deserve a millionaire, but most ladies want one. Or at least a guy who makes really, really good money. And that's totally fine, especially with the fact that you want you want somebody who can take care of you, right? Someone provide for you. And millionaires or guys who make really good money, they want a significant other, right? They want a wife. They want somebody to spend their time and money in life with, right? So fair is fair. But the thing is, do you deserve it though? That's the problem that tends to happen a lot of times out here that I see online. There's a lot of ladies feeling that they deserve a, rich guy or high value man. They like using that term, even though they're using that term incorrectly. But still, they want, a guy with good amount of money. I'll just say millionaire. They want a millionaire. All right. The thing is, what does he want? What does the millionaire want? What is he looking for? Typically, because we're talking about a guy being a millionaire, typically he's not looking for anybody who is his equal. He's looking for something different, right? He's not looking for somebody that's like him. He's looking for somebody different, right? He is who he is for a reason, right? You can say society is the reason he has to be a millionaire, right? His value comes from his achievements, not from his existence. He's going to want the opposite. He's going to want somebody who is valuable to him, not because of their achievements, but just because of their existence, just because of who they are as a person. And this is why in society it's very important for ladies to behave a certain type of way, to look a certain type of way, because it's where your value comes from, especially when it comes to guys. If you're trying to be with a guy, you need to understand what a guy wants. Regardless if a guy's a millionaire or he's broke, we all want the same thing, right? We all focusing on who the woman is, right? Her looks, her personality, right? Is she trustworthy, right? Her loyalty, those types of factors, things that are tangible, things that matter, things that are useful, especially if you're the type of guy who makes good money. Well, you want to be with a woman that isn't going to ruin that, right? Who isn't going to create problems that you have to keep spending money to solve. She should be the one that saves you money, not wastes money, right? If you're going to waste money, it should be your decision, not hers, right? It shouldn't be, her actions shouldn't cause you to spend a lot of money, for example, right? Your decision to spend a lot of money on her or whatever should be up to you, right? But anyway, this is obviously for the ladies. So how to get one? Well, first and foremost, you got to find out what is it that he wants. What is it that he likes? Different types of guys like different types of things. So since we're talking about a millionaire, right? Well, he has money, so money is not something that you need to bring to the table, as they say, right? Not something that would be useful to him, since he already has it. So you have to think, okay, what is it that he don't have that you could bring to him, right? What separates you from every other woman out there that he could choose from? Because you gotta remember, it's a choice, right? It's choosing, right? He has to choose you. He clearly has options, right? He clearly can choose any woman he wants. But if you're the one who wants to be with him, right? You want him to choose you, you gotta be worthy of it. So what is it that you can do that other women can't do or won't do that makes you the best choice, right? Just like you ladies like the best guy. Because think about it, you could be with any guy. You could be with a guy who's broke, a guy who's average income, a guy who makes decent money but he's not a millionaire. You could be with a guy like that, but you want a millionaire. So since you're choosing a millionaire, well, clearly the millionaire, he gets to choose too, right? He gets to choose what he wants. He might not want a woman with children, right? Might not want a woman with a high body count. Not that he will have a problem with a body count, just not too high, right? So then you have to understand, like, okay, what he considers too high. Right? These are important things, because when you want something, because it's the whole deserve thing. People are a little confused. They think because they want it, they deserve it, and it's like, no, just because you want it doesn't mean you deserve it. You deserve what you earn. So, for example, if you deserve a paycheck from your job after you do the work to deserve it. So you work 2 weeks, and then you deserve a paycheck after those 2 weeks, right? What you don't deserve is to want a paycheck but never work, right? Sitting on your ass every day, doing nothing and expecting life to get better, expecting money to come your way, expecting the perfect guy to come your way. That's not how that works. You only get what you deserve. You only deserve what you earn. So if you feel you deserve love, well, you have to earn it. You feel you deserve lots of money, you have to earn it, and the list goes on. Like, you only get what you deserve after you earn it. You don't deserve something because you want it, right? You don't deserve it because you want it. You deserve it because you earned it. So, do you know what it takes to deserve it? Right? Do you understand that being a decent human being is one of those requirements, right? Think of it like a job. You need to make sure you qualify to be the wife of a millionaire, right? Can you handle that lifestyle? What if the lifestyle includes you can't go out anytime you want like you used to, right? So you have less quote unquote freedom. Like, you can't go out because what if somebody tries to kidnap you, right, for ransom and all that stuff? Can you handle that? Can you handle the possibility of your life being in danger, right? We love to focus on the idea of like, oh, millions of dollars, lots of money, travel, spend money, do this, that, there. Oh my God, it would be great to have a lot of money. Yes, there's a lot of things you can do with money, yes. But in this world, you think it's you think it's not more dangerous when you have more money? Just think about it that way. It's like, can you handle having lots of money? Can you handle the responsibility? I've seen a lot of people that win the lottery and instantly their life gets ruined by it because they can't handle it. They weren't prepared for it. And that's the thing. It's like, are you prepared to be the wife of a millionaire? What if he wants to have multiple women? Can you handle that? Most ladies can't. Most ladies don't want to. Right? But these are the things you have to take into account when you want a millionaire. Can you handle the idea of him wanting more than one chick? Right? Can you handle him not being able to give you a lot of time and attention because he's busy, right? Being a millionaire, right? He's not a millionaire for no reason. He's more likely earning that status. He could be the CEO of a company or something, right? He could be a person who does talks like Grant Cardone or something like that, where he travels the world talking, doing motivational speeches or whatnot, or he does stuff. Or maybe he's a philanthropist now, right? Now he's like, oh, I'm rich, I have all this money, I'm living a good life, it's time for me to give back to the world, let me make a difference in the world. And that's what he's doing, which is nice and noble, but it causes him to have less time because he's busy doing all this philanthropy, right? He's too busy saving the world, right? So he has less time for you. Would that be okay? For some ladies, that's not. And the list goes on, right? You need to understand, what is it that you bring, what to bring to the table. What is, the things that he wants, right? On average, most guys do want a lady that's in shape. Obviously there's exceptions, but again, it depends on the millionaire, right? Because you can say there's a lot of overweight millionaires out there. Okay, there's a lot of guys who are overweight. But just because they're overweight doesn't mean they want a chick that's also overweight. They typically will want a chick who's less overweight. But there's some guys who don't mind a chick being overweight. Just like there's some guys that are in good shape who prefer chicks who are not in shape. There are some exceptions, but the exceptions are not the rule, right? Just because there are some exceptions doesn't mean that you will be part of that exceptions. You can just as easily be an exclusion. You can just as easy be told that, you're not their type. So you got to figure out, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to get in shape? What, on your dime, his dime, whatever, however way it works out. What if he wants you to get in shape, right? What if he wants to pay for you to, your gym membership and whatnot? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to have it where he isn't, I'll say it this way, he dictates what you eat. He's in charge of what you eat. He's paying for the food, so he gets to choose. Are you okay with that? Can you handle that? Are you okay with, trusting someone else to make decisions when it comes to your health? And the list goes on. Like I keep saying, there's so much that comes with just dealing with other human beings, But definitely when it comes to somebody who's financially doing financially well, they're going to have different types of problems. They're going to have less money problems, yeah, because obviously they got a good amount of income. So they're going to have less problems when it comes to paying for things, because they can obviously pay for it. But it's just a matter of what they're paying for and what they're dealing with. And that's why I was talking about the whole security. It's like, can you handle it? Most chicks love the idea of being with a millionaire, but it's like, but can you handle the risk factor? He can have enemies, and then those enemies become your enemies. And you could just easily be the weakest link. What if somebody tries to use you to get to him, right? To get to his money? Because he has money, there's going to be people out there that's going to hate on him. It's going to be jealous of him. That's the thing. Can you handle that? Can you handle jealousy? Right? Hate towards your man, towards your millionaire. Can you handle that? Right? Most ladies can't. Can you handle, certain responsibilities? Like, let's say he makes you responsible for certain things, some of his assets, makes you responsible for, like, I don't know, paintings or something like that. Can you handle that, right? What if he wants to make you, like, vice president of his company or something like that? Can you handle that? Can you handle, a lot of these responsibilities? Can you handle a lot of his requests? Are you the type of person that can follow his lead? Or are you the type of person that wants to do what you want to do? Are you the type of person who thinks that it's okay to think money doesn't matter, but are you the type of person that's like, you don't care that somebody has a lot of money, right? You don't care if somebody's a millionaire. You're going to still do whatever you want, how you want. Do you have that mindset, right? That regardless if the person is in a better position than you in life, you still see yourself as their equal, even if they are better than you. Right? Are you that type of person? Can you handle understanding that you're not their equal? Can you handle the fact that, you're not going to be as important as they are in the relationship, as well as in the view of the world, right? Can you handle the idea of understanding that when you're with him, the way the world sees it is you're his wife, right? He's number one, you're number two. The world's not going to see you as equal. Can you handle that? The world's not going to see you as more important than him. The world might ignore you, right? Depending if he's the type of guy that's out there in the spotlight, right? Because of his wealth. Depending on what he did to be wealthy, right? And the list goes on. These are the types of things that I think about that my wife has to deal with. She has to deal with that type of stuff. Like I said, can you handle the fact that he's gonna probably be popular with other ladies? That other ladies are going to try to replace you, right? Try to take your place, try to get his attention. Can you handle that? How would you handle that? Right? Would you be willing to compromise? Have rules, right? Have certain boundaries where it's like, okay, you can take advantage of these offers from these ladies, but I have rules, right? That kind of stuff. Or are you going to be against it? Are you going to get violent or physical or angry, or the list goes on? It's like you have to get to understand yourself, right? It's not enough to think that you can be okay with whatever you have to deal with when it comes to being with like a millionaire, right? You got to know for a fact. Do you have any experience? Have you dated any guy with a good amount of money that you got a taste of like how it is to be with somebody who lives a certain type of lifestyle where they have options, right? Where it's a little different than norm, right? How do you find them? That's the thing. It's like, right, a lot of people, when they want something, they want to know how to get that something. But my main thing here is do you really deserve it? Because even if I told you exactly how to get a millionaire, do you actually deserve it, right? And even if you got a millionaire, would you be able to keep them, right? Because it's all about qualifying. It's like, you gotta understand that if you're not the one, you're not the one, right? To make people think just because they want something, they deserve it. It's like, no, you gotta earn it. And you gotta qualify for it. Some people can put in a lot of time and effort to become a millionaire, but then once they become a millionaire, they realize, you know what? It's not what it's cracked up to be. It's not what I expect. It's not what I thought. I can't handle it. It's too much. And the list goes on. And I've seen that many a times. People not being able to handle that type of lifestyle, being in that level. I mean, some people barely can handle, living within their means. Like somebody could be making, I don't know, let's say $4,000, $5,000 a month or something like that, which is decent money. It's better than nothing. But even they can't live within their means, right? They can't budget it and spend less. They tend to try to do more because they want to feel good. They want to feel something. They want to do things different than everybody else does so they can feel better, superior, whatever. But end up failing because it's like, well, you're still in the same boat, right? You're still in the same boat, same ocean. The difference is you're trying to make your boat look like a yacht, but it's not a yacht, right? But you want people to look at it like it is a yacht. But no, it's just a regular rowboat, simple rowboat, nothing special, right? But that's the kind of stuff that you deal with when you're, in this world. It's like, do you really qualify for what you're looking for what you want? First and foremost, in order to get a millionaire, you got to know where they're at, where they what they do, how they interact, how to be able to get in touch. There's some guys that you can't even talk to them unless you go through like their secretaries or something. Like, you literally got to talk to other people before you even get to talk to him. So the likelihood of you talking to a millionaire and then getting to even the point of marriage and whatnot is going to be really difficult, right? Because again, like I said, the whole safety security thing. So it's like he's already going to be, guarded, right? Guarded financially. He's gonna be guarded physically, right? He's gonna probably have bodyguards and whatnot. So getting to him is gonna be harder. His time is gonna be managed and controlled in such a way that makes it difficult. Idealistic. He doesn't want to be predictable on what he does on a day-to-day basis, so it'd be hard for anyone to keep track and be able to, do something when he, because he has a pattern. You want to be unpredictable. Plus, when you are at that financial level, you have more freedom to spontaneously do things. You can do things on a whim. Can you handle that? Right? Can you handle having to do things on a whim? Most ladies can't, right? And most ladies can't. Can you handle the opposite, right? What if he is not the outgoing type? What if he's not the spending money type, right? Like he likes to pinch his pennies, as it were, right? Just because he's a millionaire doesn't mean he likes to spend money, you know, on random shit. He probably likes investing. For him, the money is more like a score, like a scoreboard, right? Like it's a scoring system. The more money he makes, the higher his score is in the game of life. So it's not a tool. He doesn't make the money so that way he can spend it. He makes it so he can stack it up, so that way he can brag that he, got a high score, as it were. Which, weird, because it's like, that's not what money's for. Money's meant to be spent, but whatever. A lot of world's problems will be solved if people spent money. Especially those who have lots of it spend a lot of it. But there's a lot of people who have a lot of money who spend less than people who have a little bit of money. This is why the rich get rich and the poor get poor, because the rich spend like they're poor and the poor spend like they're rich. Right? So that's the thing. So even if, you get a guy who's a millionaire, you're more likely going to live like either middle class lifestyle or maybe even a little bit less, depending on the situation. Like he could be a millionaire, but he tries to keep it on the, on the D-low, right? He tries to keep it a secret, so the world is not really aware that he is a millionaire. So that way he doesn't have to, go everywhere, bodyguard, right? He wants to live a relatively nice, simple life, but he ain't broke, right? Because he's a millionaire. So he good financially, but he doesn't want the world to know he's good financially. So that way he doesn't have, problems, right? That way he doesn't have the issues of people wanting his money. That's another thing is, millionaires, they want someone to love them for who they are, not for the fact that they have millions of dollars. So that's another thing you got to understand. This idea of like, thinking, just because you want a millionaire, you can get one, but not understanding that most millionaires don't want somebody who wants them because they're a millionaire. They want somebody who wants them for who they are, who thinks their jokes are funny or thinks their hobbies are cool. Like that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for somebody who, I'll put it this way, fetishizes, right, the idea of being with somebody who has lots of money, right? Most people who are millionaires, they're millionaires because of, they did something and now they got a lot of money. But who they are as a person hasn't changed. Like the money isn't their personality, right? The money isn't who they are. They still are who they are. They just have lots of money, right? So if they're a dork with a lot of money. If they're a nice guy, they're a nice guy with a lot of money. If they're an asshole, they're an asshole with a lot of money. Like, you know what I mean? So don't confuse, somebody having a lot of money as them being a good person, right? Or them being somebody who values money, because they could be the type of person that doesn't value money. It's like, to them, money doesn't matter. They have lots of it, yeah, but it doesn't matter to them. Like, they don't see it as something important. It's just something that's useful, something they were able to get a lot of in this world, and it lets them do whatever they want to do. But what matters to them is, let's say, spirituality, or their hobbies, or just the simple things. They prefer like a simple lifestyle, right? Just because they have millions of dollars doesn't mean they have to live a lavish lifestyle. So you got to understand that not every millionaire is built the same, as they say. So that's important. Can you handle those details? So can you handle them probably wanting certain types of arrangements, right? Certain type of financial arrangements, you know, personal arrangements, sexual, they might want um, an open relationship, or they might want an exclusive relationship, because some of you ladies here tend to not be really, I'll say, loyal. But the idea is, obviously, if you're going to be a wife, it's the idea that you're loyal to him. You want to be the woman that he's looking for that position, for the wife position. Even if he's like, yeah, you're my wife, but I'm going to still have 5 girlfriends. Like, oh, okay. Are you okay with that? Because remember, he can afford it. He can handle loving, 5 to 6 women at the same time. He can handle that financially, emotionally, right? Logically, he can handle it. But can you? Can you handle being in that situation? And what if he needs you, since you're the wife, right? You're the number one. Can you handle managing 4 to 5 other women, right? Because you're the number one, but they are still, part of the relationship, right? They're still part of the situation. So can you handle getting along with them, right? Talking with them, being diplomatic, that kind of stuff. Can you handle that? What if, they have certain emotional issues, right? Let's say they get emotional about something. Can you handle their emotions? Can you handle the situation so that way he doesn't have to? Right? Can you make sure that you can keep the peace, right? You can make sure that that type of relationship works out. Not saying you have to be in that situation, of course. I'm just saying that what if you are? Can you handle it? That's all I'm saying. This is why it goes back to the whole, like, just because you want something doesn't mean you deserve it. So just because you want a millionaire doesn't mean you deserve one. So then you have to really, really think, can you handle, a different type of relationship than you think? That's another thing. A lot of ladies go out here in the world expecting relationships to be the way they want it to be, not understanding that the types of guys you ladies want, not the guys you settle for, the guys you want, they have their own life, their own idea of a relationship, their own wants. This is why I mentioned the whole, can you handle the idea of him wanting to be with multiple women? Especially if he's like, well, I got a lot of money, I could afford multiple girlfriends. Why can't I have multiple girlfriends, right? If that's what he wants, right? Just like you want stuff, well, he wants stuff too. And if that's what he wants, it'd be very hypocritical to think it's wrong for him wanting what he wants, even though he can't afford it, right? And he worked hard to be in the position. So small little things to, not small, these are big important things in the relationship, obviously, to keep in mind. It's like, can you handle that? Like, if I wanted to be with a woman that's very, very desirable, and she, wants to exercise the fact that she's desirable, I have to decide, like, am I okay with it or not, right? Am I okay with having an open relationship where it's open on both sides, or only on one side, depending on the situation? But as I was already saying, was the idea that guys that y'all choose tend to be of a certain type of caliber that you can't want something really awesome and then demand that awesome thing does what you want, right? It's the whole beggars can't be choosers concept, where it's like, you want a millionaire, right? That's what you want. But the millionaire can do whatever they want. Therefore, you can't be surprised if they want other chicks, or let's say they don't want to make you the main chick. Let's say they don't want to wife you, right? They'll live with you. They'll have you live with them, and enjoy all the benefits of being with them. But you don't get the wife position, right? Can you handle that? Will you be okay just being the girlfriend of a millionaire and never being a wife? Can you handle that? Right? Because logically, it's the same as being married. It's just you're not married, right? You're getting all the same benefits anyway, right? It's not that different from, having it's kind of like working at McDonald's but not being at McDonald's, right? Like you could stay home but still make McDonald's money or something, right? Like that would actually be a thing someday, because you'll probably be able to do like work from home at McDonald's. Like think about how funny that would be, because you'll be like responsible for manning and controlling like robotics or something, or you might be the person that takes the order, so that way there's still like a human element, so you don't have to physically be at McDonald's to do that. You could be at home, and when somebody makes an order, right, you can respond to it if they're going that route. Obviously they'll probably make it where it's like the people can pick what they want on a menu, right, a menu system, and go that route, however way they want to do it. But I'm just saying is anything's possible. But ultimately the main thing I want to get to you ladies is that first and foremost, you got to understand, what do they want? What are you willing to do to get what you want, right? To get the millionaire. And obviously giving him what he wants is the way you get him. So understanding what he wants is very important. And then making yourself available to them, right? To be picked, and finding where they're at, right? It's like you're not gonna find a shark if you're fishing for shark, right? You're not gonna find a shark and catch a shark in a fish tank, right? In somebody's house. It doesn't work that way. You're gonna have to go to the ocean to try to find a shark. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want a millionaire, you're not gonna find a millionaire at Costco's or McDonald's or something, right? It'd be very rare for that to happen. Maybe you'll find Warren Buffett, but he already has a wife, right? At McDonald's. But, and that's the other thing. It's like most of these guys, they don't care much about money, about status and whatnot. If anything, they want a chick who's quiet, low key, that the world doesn't know. Because rich millionaires can always date models and celebrities if they want, but that's too many eyes, too much attention. And most millionaires would rather have a nice, quiet, peaceful life where people are not in their business. So they would rather be with a chick who works at McDonald's, right? And that's the thing. Guys don't care about money, right? Guys are not like, oh, I want to marry a millionaire. Guys are not thinking that way. They don't care about money like that. We know y'all ladies do, but we don't care about money like that. What we do say, however, what's our equivalent to a millionaire is a hot chick. It's like, she's hot. That's all I need. She's hot. I find her attractive. She turns me on. And that's all I need and all I want. If I get anything extra, she's smart, she cures cancer or whatever, that's a plus. I'll brag about that. But the most important thing would be she's hot. That's our equivalent to y'all wanting a millionaire. Y'all want a millionaire? We want a hot wife, right? It's just that simple. That's the thing. Guys are way simpler than ladies are. Y'all want extra shit. The guy not only has to be a millionaire, he also has to be good looking. He has to be taller than you. He has to be stronger than you, smarter, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. And that's the thing. Y'all want too much. But the funny thing is, y'all want so much, but then at the same time, you'll make a big deal about the smallest things. He's tall, he's good looking, he's rich. You're happy with him. The lifestyle y'all have is awesome. You love the house and the cars and the trips. You love all that stuff. He has sex with another woman, bang, it's a big deal. Now it's, oh my God, he's terrible. He's a piece of shit. It's like, what? But he's like 99% perfect. The only 1% imperfect thing about him is that he likes to have sex with other women, which shouldn't be a big deal considering the fact that you're getting all these benefits that you want, all these things you want from him, you getting. The only thing you're not getting 100% of is dick. He's willing to share that with other women. But everything else, like money, time, house, cars, trips, he spends all that with you, but dick is the only thing he wants to, share and give to others, but you want to make a big deal about it. And again, that just goes back to, can you handle it, right? If you can't handle it, well, then you don't really deserve a millionaire, because more likely, somebody who's a millionaire, a guy who's a millionaire, is going to be not that different from a chick who's extremely hot. He's going to have options. He's going to be able to do things that most people can't do. And he's going to want to do those things because he can do them. Just like a hot chick can do whatever she wants, because there's going to be a whole bunch of guys that's going to let her do whatever she wants. So try to find what you're, the type of guy you're looking for, personality-wise. I always recommend that you judge the guy based off who he is as a person. The money thing, that should be secondary, shouldn't be primary, but hey, to each their own. Y'all make your own decisions. I'm just letting you know what to think about, what to consider. Because, I'm not telling you can't get a millionaire. I'm not telling you that you will get a millionaire, right? All I can tell you is you got to think a lot about what you have to do to get a millionaire. There's probably videos out there you can watch online from ladies who have dated or married or been married or currently are married to millionaires, and they can give you way better advice and way more information than I can, because they're coming from their personal experience. So you definitely want to look that stuff up. But from my point of view, if you want, from a guy's point of view, guy who's very doing very well for himself financially, I'm not looking for a chick based off of her finances, her personality, and yes, her looks, because if we make babies, I want the babies to be beautiful, right? I want them to have good genetics. I want them to have my brains and her looks, right? So that's important. Money is not, especially when you have lots of money. Money becomes less important. What becomes more important is what you do with your life. Is what you do with that money is what becomes important. Not money itself, it's what you do. Once you get to that point where it's like, okay, I'm no longer focusing on making money because I just easily have ways of making it. Now what? Well, life. That's what. Life. What you're gonna do. You're not getting younger, you're getting older, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna start making babies, you're gonna start, raising children, right? Or you're gonna start trying to make the world a better place. You're gonna be president, you're gonna do this and that. Like, what are you gonna do, right? Once you get to a certain point. So hopefully you ladies find what you're looking for, get what you want. Hopefully this gave you some stuff to think about to help you better do research, prepare, right? Start thinking now, especially if you're young. Hopefully you're a young lady in your 20s listening to this. You have a better shot than if you're 30 or 40 when it comes to getting a millionaire, because you have your youth as an advantage. Even if you're not that attractive, your youth would be attractive, would be a useful thing for you when it comes to attracting and getting the attention of a millionaire who's more likely going to be in his 40s. So keep that in mind. But not impossible, obviously, to get a millionaire if you're older, less attractive. But the more attractive you are, of course, the better. The more natural, the better, but whatever it takes, whatever works, right? I'm not going to tell you not to enhance yourself if it will get you the results you want. I'm just saying that, preferably, most guys prefer natural. If they had to choose between natural or fake, they would choose natural. Just saying. There are an exception. There are some guys who will choose fake over natural, but that's rare. And there you go. The end of the podcast.